cancel culture is stupid. Empower young girls. Educate young boys. Strength is the real safety, okay, in every level of health and fitness and human life. And we got to do better for the kids.
Yeah.
As adults, we have to take responsibility for our childhood traumas and not
because if we don't, then that gets played out
over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
And the young kids that we're all raising see that, and they program it without it being our fault or their fault. It just happens, right?
So let's all become conscious and aware, and stop fucking up. All right. And we'll talk. Hopefully, we run through everything in 30 minutes, and we can talk.
I think we will.
Primary healing, because we're changing the paradigm of instead of going to doctors for pills, you heal yourself.
That's what Nicole. I always fuck her last name up. Lepera, is how she pronounced it. Lepera. That's her hashtag, like self healer.
Yeah, well, that's kind of. I guess that's why that's in my head, because I love that. Because listen to this. You're always self-healing. Your body's the only one that heals it. Every single study that's ever been done, what's the word? Adjusts for the placebo effect. Tests for the placebo effect as well. That's your body healing you. If you break your leg, they give you painkillers and they set the bone.
Put in position.
They put it in position. Your body heals that shit. Just like every motherfucking thing else. So instead of taking poisonous Band-Aids...
You are Wolverine, bro.
He's faster, that's all.
X-Factor.
Yeah. So instead of taking poisonous antibiotics, after you're already sick, you could optimize your immune system.
We gotta do a whole one about antibiotics, because...
And probiotics, antibiotics, the bacteria episode.
I have a cold, I'm going to take antibiotics for a cold?
Of course.
I know, I think 80% of the people I know take... I mean, that's
Bro, I have 70%. One little headache, I don't take a sip of water, I take 4 Advil. I have one little cough. I run to the doctor.
Get a craniosacral massage. I literally had one of my yoga homies. She asked me for do you chronic migraines? I'm like, I have had chronic migraines my whole life. It's like, let me give you craniosacral person I know. And the next time I saw her, she broke down in tears. She's like, I had this in my whole life, and it's so fucking awful. And this is the first time I've ever had relief.
Of course.
And it's gone.
Healing.
Craniosacral massage.
Healing. Let's not confuse medicine and medication, guys. There's Band-Aids and there's cures. Curing yourself, healing yourself is a daily practice. It's daily work just like anything else. All right. What else were we talking about?
Breathwork,
bacteria
meditation.
Episode. I like that.
Yeah.
Where we just do... Because here's the next thing. We're not saying antibiotics and
but are overused.
Antiseptics and stuff don't save lives, but they're totally overused.
Two reasons. There's a million reasons, right? But there's one, you take systemic antibiotics, like the ones that are used for colds.
It's a carpet bomb.
Yeah.
Good and bad bacteria.
Yeah, and I've taken ones that are just in the digestive tract. They stay within there, but the other ones that are non-localized destroy everything. And that's your whole immune system, right?
Your food.
Second thing, too, overuse of antibiotics. Bacteria and viruses, bacteria is becoming resistant to all of our antibiotics. We're running out.
Kills the weak ones.
We're running out of antibiotics. It's an issue. It's going to happen in our lifetime. The main antibiotics we use are not going to be working for a lot of things.
Don't tell Bill. Don't tell Gates. He'll shoot you up with something.
Oh boy.
What else did that remind me of that I was about to say? Fuck. Bacteria. Oh, when you fucking go to the doctor, he throws pills at you. When you go to the vet, he says, "Oh, the dog doesn't feel well. What are you feeding him, and how much are you exercising him?" If the doctor gives you antibiotics, he says, "See you later. Come back if you need more drugs." If you give a dog antibiotics, they say, "Oh, make sure you give him a good probiotic because this is going to fuck up his whole
they
gut."
always give him prebiotics and probiotics.
Do we not see the game here, guys? And I'm not blaming the doctors.
No. It's not. Well,
some of them.
It's some of them, but the majority of them is not even their fault.
That's my point.
That's what they're taught.
That's my point. That's what they're taught. And by taught, I mean indoctrinated, and it's Big Pharma running the whole show.
Yeah.
And once again, not that they haven't saved millions of lives, but when you put cheddar cheese ahead of lives, that's when we done fucked up.
And people love cheese. Cheese makes the world go round, even though it's not even real.
That they do. A wheel of cheese is round.
Oh, yeah.
Or a ball of cheese.
Ball of cheese.
And that's exactly why
cheese balls.
The earth is flat, because cheese is wow. Oh, here's a good one that Aubrey was doing. Dude, Aubrey, I love it. At the end of a lot of episodes, he'll throw in a meditation and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the Justin Wren one?
That was...
Dude.
That was a fucking church mass.
Dude, that's the church I want to go to.
Yeah,
today he did 6 breaths, and he leads it so well, too. He's like, close your eyes, drop in. If you're driving, focus on the breath. Yeah. Sniff, sniff, inhale, hard, long exhale. For 6, I believe he said. Yeah. And he's like cited the Japanese study that it showed to reduce blood pressure, stress, and blah, blah, blah. When he does speaking engagements, he starts off with breath work to get everybody on the same vibration. Because everyone's pumped up.
Yeah.
Aubrey Marcus is about to speak, Aubrey Marcus. And the whole room is
buzzing.
And some people are up, some people are down, introverts, extroverts, people hyped, people on caffeine, people not. Yeah. Breathing exercise, we're all humming at the same time. Now everybody's hearing the message better.
Dude, that's like
I completely made a note to do that in the future.
That's my classes. Like in your regular flow classes, you jump right in. That's
yoga. I thought of doing that to like football teams and strength and conditioning. Like, guys, we're a tribe. We're gonna breathe first, and then you're gonna listen to my shit.
Because nobody does that in real life. Nobody does that outside of like a minutia practice. That's a couple times a week. You can do that with literally everything.
The air is for all of us. God put the air.
I accidentally discovered it when I first started lifting. When I would do the Wim Hof without even Wim
without knowing it. Smart.
And I was like,
this feels good.
I felt powerful, and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing it.
I feel good. I might as well do things that make me feel good.
I like it. I like it.
Isn't that like how the game works? Like once you figure out shit that feels good in life, do that shit.
Keep doing it.
Keep doing that shit. You found some shit you like.
If you like murdering people and chopping their skin off, that's one thing.
Yeah. We got to draw a line somewhere.
I guess.
Because I'm all for personal freedoms, but
when it interrupts other people's personal freedoms, especially their life.
Well, dude, that's literally it. It's literally do whatever the fuck you want, and if you harm the environment, an animal, or another person, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
Other than that, dye your hair, fucking get tattoos, do whatever.
Where the problem comes in is when people is so. Like, as long as it's not hurting somebody else, but then like you doing something makes me annoyed. That's right. I'm not agreeing with that, but that's what people use. That's what people use.
Now I'm triggered. No.
Like you being black bothers me, right? Like that's my personal freedom. He can't come in here. Like you being gay.
Oh, right. I was thinking that's ridiculous.
That's right.
I agree with you, but I was thinking of the so woke on the other side. Like, I don't like oranges. So you're saying apples are racist and apples are terrible and you're a fucking terrible person? I'm shaking right now. You should educate yourself. You're a fucking terrible racist Nazi. I'm like, I just said I didn't like oranges. You didn't have to draw a whole conclusion over that.
But it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. So I'm glad you mentioned the one way.
It's not a what. It's not a matter of what. It's just a pattern of thinking. It's the same pattern of thinking on both sides.
But here's the thing: there's facts and there's opinions, and your feelings don't have anything to do.
People have opinions on what facts are, though.
That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. And if your feelings get hurt because of something someone said, and I don't mean screaming in your face hate speech, I mean like the example you gave.
And that's the only example I ever gave.
And I like that. And it's an extreme, but I like that. Then it's up to you to work on your shit.
See, that's where
personal responsibility comes in.
That's why but nobody wants to do that though. Not nobody, but we're teaching. The world is learning.
The world is learning. There's definitely an energy shift. I could feel it. They've been talking about it for like a year or for like 10 years or so, 20 years. I felt it yesterday.
10 years in,
that's the thing. Is a blip on a blip on a blip on a blip.
A year is like,
bro,
we're going to change the world in a year. I'm like, guys, slow down.
This is the longest week ever. Like, okay.
so and so's president, the world's going to change forever.
Oh,
So and so's
stop.
president, the world's going to
Anybody says that, we're already on fucking Mickey Mouse land.
Yes, like
The
4
president,
years.
the president comes and goes every 4
You
years.
think the world's going to change in 4 years?
The motherfuckers running shit stay there the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
It's Biden's been there for 50 years, and they're like, this 4 is going to be it.
And you like literally every Democrat's like made fun of him up until the point where he became vice president,
including Kamala
Even when
6
he was
months
vice-
ago. Come on, guys, please. Once again, it's not that
playing-
the other side is better.
No.
It's that we're living in a fucking matrix, and you need to wake the fuck up, take personal responsibility for your shit, control what you can control, and then here's the part that I'm working on: letting go of what you can't control.
Exactly.
Right? Because I'm pretty good at personal responsibility, controlling what I can control, helping who I can help, and taking care of myself, leaving the world a better place than I found it, this whole thing. But the letting go with, because even right now, I'm thinking about taking a baseball bat to pedophiles' teeth.
Yeah.
And just kneecaps and like slow torture. And what does that make me feel? Good for 15 seconds?
Well, it's like you've seen
Doesn't really help
you
anybody.
ever seen Law Abiding Citizen? Gerard
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Like guys broke into his home, raped his wife, murdered his wife,
In front of him.
murdered his kids while they held him down and he watched. And the first scene where he's getting the guy who did it and torturing him, I'm like, I don't know if I understand it.
Oh, no, but see, that's the thing. So, good. Wait, you do or you don't understand it?
No, I do. Like,
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I was riding
like,
with it.
I was like,
This is great.
I know he's the bad guy, but he's not.
No.
But I mean, I if that happened to me, I'm not sure.
You're going to be like, well,
Which is
karma is playing itself out just the way that God intended.
Which is
so
which is
I guess in the past life, my wife and 11-year-old daughter deserve to be raped because they did some horrible thing in their past life.
But then you doing stuff to him creates more karmic
Okay,
baggage, right?
and I'll agree with you. And I'll agree with you that. So that I was being sarcastic, but then I agree with you there. And I agree with you there. So what is the answer then?
Healing Gerard Butler in a positive way where he can move on with his life and reforming the criminal. Not letting him go free.
Ooh, no.
Not letting him go
so
free.
how do you reform him though? Because we know the prison system's already fucked up. But I like that. Forget Gerard Butler because not everybody saw this movie. But so say we hear screams next door and somebody's. Let's not say it's happening, but it's in the middle of happening. Somebody's holding somebody down.
Yeah.
And we clock him in the back of the head. Obviously, we're gonna console her the best as possible because even though any physical thing didn't really happen, there's definitely trauma.
Yeah.
You're not gonna let me lock the door and take care of him for a little bit because that's
Yeah.
what do we do in that situation?
So in that situation,
We tie him up and we talk to him and then call the cops and we try to fucking heal him with words. Because I know she's gonna need help for sure, and I understand that.
And then we got to understand
before I serve my ego by kicking his teeth in. What's the best thing to do?
Say you do that, right? Say we let that happen, right? Say he gets a little bit of action, some immediate karma for it, because not enough people do get the immediate karma that they may deserve, whether it's my position to say what somebody deserves or not.
Yeah, to beat
it's
it.
not.
It's not. But if I saw that,
then we get into the root because we're not solving the issue here. We're chopping the head off a hydra when we beat the shit out of him, right? What's the root of that problem?
the whole issue we're not.
Like, why did that guy do that? There's a reason why what happens. There's a reason why
I agree.
me and you don't do that and somebody else does do that, right?
That part I'll never understand, but
right, but we need to get to the understanding of that because we can catch that. Because that guy was a kid at one point in his life, right? A guy was an impressionable kid that learned this from somewhere.
You're right.
He created this pattern from somewhere. I'm not saying within that personal guy we're going to solve that issue.
Especially if he's only doing that because it was done to him. Then I'm gotta really have compassion for him.
But
in the
moment,
because if it's a kid or a dog, if it's a kid, I'm not. There's no.
And again, I'm not like.
No, I know. I'm
playing
devil's advocate.
Yeah, because like if I would beat the shit out of him too. Like the way I think about. I always think about. Like, I'm going to leave you with something you will never forget. Like, I'm going to, like, slice your knee tendons so you can't walk again. You know?
Yeah, so you remember that shit.
So, like, you live your life, you create a trauma to somebody that they may live with their entire life.
Oh, may.
And it's going to destroy...
unless they have. Taking my cigar lighter and heating up my knife and fucking carving something in his cheek.
See it, or
yeah.
Full forehead, and you don't forget that shit.
I'm going to I'm a rapist, fucking burn it into your fucking cheek and break your fucking arm. You put him in a fucking arm bar and break his fucking arm, and I fucking knock him out and fucking carve I'm a rapist in his cheek, and then we call the cops and say, oh, we found him like this. This lady was screaming. He must have tripped and fell. I don't know. Officer, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. There was a little girl screaming. Next thing you know, he fucking tripped and fell.
Yeah.
But, so forget all that. Say we tie him up, and we talk to him, and we try to be the therapist? Because we know if we call the cops, they don't reform him. He's going to get worse punishment.
That's where the problem is.
And I'm okay with his worse punishment, but that's not rehabilitation, is my point.
Yeah, well, that's the prison reform needs to become reform. There actually needs to be some reform. The people inside need to be, like, I'm fine with having that guy be in prison for the rest of his life in a cell doing whatever. But let's see if he can. But that's its own issue in and of itself. Keeping somebody locked in a thing and the money with the prison systems, right? There's so many issues going on here.
I know.
It's a roundabout ass system.
Yeah, we're just.
But like, is there a way that guy can end up while still in prison and become, heal his demons and be a contributing part of society again from the inside out?
Now you're talking,
right? Because now we've turned a bad guy into not a good guy, but we've perhaps
that happens with gang members and stuff that go and teach other kids.
Well, there's a famous I was reading Pema's book, I forget, but the famous Buddhist yogi. I forget the name. I'm going to butcher it because I don't know as much about Buddhism or her deep understanding of it. Former serial killer. Renounces himself, goes to a Buddhist master for training.
Nice.
And the Buddhist master puts him through the fucking ringer. Of shit.
Oh yeah.
But he has compassion for him because he wants him to change. He believes he can change. But the only way you can do that, though,
100%. I mean, that's especially because he went there for help.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at the net positive across thousands of years,
Awesome.
right?
Awesome.
Because in the immediate moment, I want to do the same thing you do. Like I want them to feel the pain that he put on somebody else, right?
And he'll never feel the same amount of pain.
And he'll never understand what that's like.
He'll never understand.
And I'll never
Which is literally the definition of karma, where down the road you understand because shit happens to you or whatever. But or we tie him up and we fucking and listen to this. And we don't hurt him. We talk to him while some mushroom tea is brewing. And we're like, this is your one fucking chance.
5 Gs?
And 5 Gs is a fucking party. We give him 20.
20? Dude, he would spend the rest of his life serving
and we're going to fucking hold a mirror up to you for all the things you did.
This is what you are right now. Because
that's the only way he could feel.
Yeah, because if we're attaching like the evil acts he did to who he is, then we're denying him the ability to connect to oneness and be that. So by doing that, we give him an opportunity.
That's my point. Yeah. We overdose him, not in a dangerous way.
I mean, you're not going to overdose
in a too much way.
The worst you can
where
do is
it's
puke.
so intense. No, he's going to puke and cry.
Yeah.
He's going to cry. He's going to puke. And he's
going
to learn.
He's going to learn.
You're going to learn today, son.
Yeah, because
I've taken 15 Gs and I wasn't prepared. Yeah, but I came out a better person, but it was intense. I wouldn't even say it was bad.
You've never not come out a better person.
But you will get locked in a cage for possessing that.
Yeah.
And alcohol's legal than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So riddle me that,
some
motherfucker.
18-year-old just, died of alcohol poisoning in a frat party in college, but...
Please.
Expanding your consciousness.
So maybe that's the answer. We try to heal.
Well, that's why I'm so for it. That's why part of my big plan, bigger picture, is using those kinds of therapies to heal the victims and then to rehab
victims and the
perpetrators, right? Because
that's your real second chance.
Yeah, because again, the Hydra thing doesn't work. That's all we're doing is chopping the heads off the Hydra.
Locking you in a cage and giving you more, surrounding you by other criminals,
and then making your mind worse because you're in isolation. So we're making a criminal even more crazier.
Way worse. I agree with you on that.
Like my boss, Dr. Lemmy, he worked with the prison, and he's worked within the prison system.
That's huge.
And there's varying degrees of what crimes people commit. 100%.
Some legit, some not, some horrible, some not, some whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I 100% am with you in the part of me that wants to, because I have those visions too of just going to town on I want to catch somebody just so I can let them feel what it's like, just go to town. But
not a day goes by when I don't think about it.
But at the same time, I also want this to just not be a problem anymore, right? So how do we get there? That's the
and even
goal.
Whether we heal or beat up one guy, it doesn't get there. That's why we have bigger goals and mission for this, because
that's where it starts with the children and how we're programming our kids and how we respond to our environment and how we understand each other as
1,000,000%
one thing, right?
Empower and strengthen the girls and really teach.
Yeah, everyone, not just women, should know some level of self-defense.
Everything, strengthen all levels. And that and
I did a speech on that in college because that year, my senior years, I pushed out public speaking to my senior year. But that year, Penn State came out as the school with the highest rates of reported rapes and assaults in the country. And so the one girl tried to not spin it, that's the wrong word, but she was saying that it was not that. A lot of people like defend Penn State. That was the year, because I was in the 4 years where Sandusky thing happened, and there's a lot of people at Penn State that are super Penn State, so they defend it to the end, no matter what. And so she was saying it was not necessarily a bad thing because they were reported versus non-reported. Most rapes go unreported.
That is
so they're saying
if it's the most reported, imagine how many on top of that weren't reported.
So she's saying that means it's that the system is working better, that people are being able to report it.
That's one way to look at it.
That's one way to look at it.
Doesn't make it good.
And I did a speech, and I was doing the speech, and like initially off the bat, I was getting dirty looks from people because they couldn't see where I was about to go with this.
Keeping it too real.
Well, what I was saying is like,
you can't handle the truth.
Well, I literally said like, we're not going to be able to change this in some immediate future by writing something on a piece of paper and making a law.
I agree.
Well, murder's already illegal. People murder shit, right? But what you can do, right? And it's not women's fault for doing anything.
No,
you want to wear a short skirt, and that's not you. It's not you didn't bring this to yourself.
Absolutely not.
Right. But the only thing you can do, right, what I suggest women do is learn self-defense. And that was the year Ronda Rousey was kicking people's asses.
And I used that as
an example.
I think it's a great example.
This is a chick that literally beat up dudes.
So this is the same thing we talked about before, where you're trying to empower them and they don't want to take personal responsibility.
Well, they ended up, the room ended up lighting up once they realized where I was going.
You turned the crowd like Rocky IV.
Yeah, because I had to build it up in some way to get their, not to get their.
I know what you mean, but to put the point.
But that's the truth, though, right? Would you rather not know how to defend yourself? Because
that's what they're saying, because it's lazy, because it costs them to actually do work instead of waving a magic wand.
And that's not fair that you have to know that to be able to do that.
I agree with you.
We're not living in that reality.
We're not living in that reality, so it's common sense, but there's no downside to it.
There's zero downside.
The self-discipline. If there never was a murderer or a rapist ever to live on the planet, martial arts for females is a fucking good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. So now you add 100%. The fact that it might save your life or someone else's, and I still don't see the bad part here.
Because I've read stories of people on Reddit who were able to defend themselves. I've
seen videos that I watched 20 times in a row of fucking girls getting mugged for their purse, and they fucking throw a spin kick and fucking...
Because I hate it that there's still a lot of people that don't... Like, even women of themselves don't believe that women are capable of defending themselves. And there's varying degrees. If John Jones or some guy like that it's very different.
But it's better to have a chance.
Yeah, and you're not going to do some sort of fancy technique. You're going to fucking gouge their eyes out and do all that kind of shit. And it works because it has happened, right? But until we are able to do what we're doing, talk about conscious shit to humanity.
Yes.
Know how to defend yourself. I know how to defend myself. I'm a smaller guy.
Like I said, if we shift everything and we're in a utopian fucking society, knowing martial arts is still a good thing. Let's go.
Yeah,
guys.
Just like yoga. I always thought like yoga is a martial art and martial arts is a spiritual practice, right?
I'm stealing a good quote here, and I don't even know who the quote is attributed to originally. Yoga is a martial art that you do against yourself.
Ooh, yeah.
That's fucking dope.
And most traditional martial arts you do against yourself, really. I mean, even when you're fighting against somebody else, you're not fighting against somebody else. Because he's working against himself and you're working against himself at each other.
What? Which is life.
That's what it is.
Which is everything. You can only fight yourself. Dude, that's some fucking Carl Jung, Sun Tzu, everybody's
that's
like the only enemy. What is the quote? It's if you defeat the enemy inside you, no enemy outside you can fuck with you whatsoever. So to wrap up, we give them two choices like training day. Like, you want to go to jail or you want to go home? Because here's your two. If he's raping a little girl and we stop him and the girl's fine for the hypothetical and we console her separately, we lock the door and we go, right now, he's going to break your arm. I'm going to fucking knock every one of your fucking teeth out and then carve I'm a rapist in your fucking forehead. And then we're going to call the cops. Or you take 20 grams of mushrooms and we literally hold a mirror up to you and fucking you repent your sins.
How long does that last? Like, how long does the change from that trip last? He's still going to go to prison.
Could be lifetimes. Oh, so you're saying we send him to jail after the mushroom?
Yeah.
We let him drink the tea and then we just call the cops immediately? And he's in the holding cell tripping?
No.
That's not good.
No. We let him go through the whole trip, then we call the cops.
Tie him to a tree.
No, you're going to serve your time for what you did, but
Tie
now
him
you
to a
understand.
tree with a blindfold on 20 grams.
You're too creative.
Well, I'm pretty creative with the hitting him with a bat, too.
That's true.
So I'm going to get creative with the healing.
All right.
We duct tape him to a tree with a blindfold on, 20 grams of tea in his system, and we wait 6 hours and then call the cops. 8 hours?
Yeah. And we, and then we're going to spend however long it takes with the girl working on therapy, healing, and trauma, right? That's the priority.
Because whether I bash his teeth in or not,
yeah,
we need to save
because
her.
I want both of them to be reformed, but she takes priority over him.
Great point.
In my
Great point.
estimation.
And it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, but I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, but I definitely do want to work with him, so I'm going to go visit him in prison.
That's the thing. We would
say,
follow up.
Hey,
dog, this could have been worse for you.
We gave you an opportunity. Be grateful for it, right? You have an opportunity to learn a lot about yourself and do good for humanity. I'm going to check up within you however may long, but I'm going to give you some homework to work on, meditate, do the shit. And then after what you've seen on the 20-gram trip, there may be some part of your experience left that you can redeem yourself, right?
100%. 100%. And once again, that still doesn't change the world. It's just a different way to spin what we were talking about.
The band Death Cab for Cutie. It's a little more like an emo-ish band. Yeah. But he's a great lyricist, and he has in one line of his songs, like when you find yourself the villain in the story you have written, it's plain to see that sometimes redemption is the best of intentions. Wouldn't you agree, or something like that, right? So you became aware to the God of consciousness what you did to yourself, essentially. All that's left is redemption. You have the rest of your life to redeem yourself. Go do that. I'm going to go work with her. I'm going to show her that what happened to her is not who she is. And that she can heal and move on.
And she's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I would handle the situation in a perfect world, because the prison system may or may not even allow me to do that.
No, not at all. But I love that in a hypothetical perfect world. I like that. You made me feel better. Have you ever seen, last question, because we got to get the Bab here.
Babe.
Have you ever seen
Babka.
A Time to Kill? Matthew McConaughey's first movie, Samuel L. Jackson.
Not. His first movies with Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, yeah. So his first appearance ever is that, not cameo, but like C-level character in
Dazed and Confused. Yeah, I know that.
And then because of that, he gets...
That blew him up, obviously, but all right.
Co-star with Samuel L. Early 90s John Grisham novel.
Oh, wow.
I can't describe it because I'm not going to cry on camera, so I can't say anything about it. I can't even talk about it.
It's rough shit?
It's good. Dude, it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
What's the premise of the movie? Rough shit or no? It's a crime movie, right? Or would you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's a lawyer. And it's in the Deep South. Matthew McConaughey's
plays a lawyer a lot.
And the first scene is an 8-year-old girl walking home from school, and 2 guys in a pickup truck come and they throw a full beer can at her head and they beat the shit out of her and they rape her. And she ends up walking home, and Samuel L. Jackson's her father. And they go to court, and because they're white and maybe because they knew the judge or something, they got like 6 months probation or something.
Jesus Christ.
So Samuel L. Jackson comes in and he goes, I'm going to handle this, and fucking blasts him with a shotgun. So now he's facing life in jail for murder. And because he's black and because he killed 2 white people, they want to throw him in jail for life. Same judge. Same town, same small town in the South. Of course.
In the South.
And Matthew McConaughey, white guy, but I think from a city that moves there or something like that. So he's more open-minded. Yeah. Not only befriends the whole family, but takes on the case. And that's as far as I can go. And McConaughey tells the story in the trial in detail. And then he goes, I'd like the jury to close your eyes and pretend that was a white girl. And then you go back and you deliberate and you tell me what you're going to do on this one.
Jesus Christ.
And he walks out. And I don't remember if Samuel got any time or whatever, but then, because once again, it's exactly what we talked about. That's why I brought it up. Like murder, like, does that make it better that he shot him with a shotgun in front of everybody? Like in front of everybody. In the media, fucking he came right in the courtroom. Jesus, He goes 6 months probation.
Oh, he did in the courtroom?
Fuck you, bro. He kicked in the door and fucking blasted him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's the bad guy. That's his daughter, bro. She was 8.
Someone did that to your daughter.
Oh, they wouldn't have made it to trial. I'd be in jail for life.
Yeah. No, I'm saying to the general
I'd smile
person
in the
watching.
courtroom.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point. That was how McConaughey spun it.
Yeah.
That was how McConaughey played the strings of the jury, which is sad that you even have to do that.
Yeah.
Because in the movie, and I think it was No, it wasn't based on a true story. It was based on a Grisham novel, but not like shit doesn't like that fucking probably happened.
I was about to say, like, the sad part is like that
For
shit
sure.
happens all over the place. I remember, again, I know we're going along here, but last thing, but it's turning to a different episode. But,
It's a different, I'm going to do 2 episodes.
yeah, good. But fucking Penn State, I think, again, it was my senior year. Girl walking home from class.
Oh, Jesus.
Van full of college guys grabs her in, rapes her, throws her off someplace else.
How? What? How does your dick get hard? I don't understand. So what you're saying is something so bad happened to them that they're so sick and twisted now that their dick gets hard pinning down an innocent person?
That's what I mean. That's why I
don't understand.
That's what I want to not get into. Makes it sound like I want to know.
That's what I don't
the
understand.
underlying aspect of why people do what they do, because I want to change it. You know.
Well, clearly they need healing even before that.
Yeah.
Because something's up with them. But, like, I really do not understand.
I mean, I was on Reddit. Like I told you things a couple times, and I saved it not because I like it, but because those stories are important to be heard, and it was anonymous. The girls online, seeing the experiences they had, almost in the dire situation, and it's ridiculous the stuff you hear, and it's just like from young boys, which is why like.
Why do they think it's okay? And how does their dick get hard and they think this is fun or whatever the fuck?
So like one thing I'm curious about too, and this is why like I've shifted my opinion on this, and it's not the most popular opinion, and I've had debates with people about this.
Sure.
But just like the amount of like abuse there is in the porn industry, and how available and this recent generation has more access to porn than it did in the past.
Sure.
Not that it didn't happen in the past,
but there's been rape before porn.
Yes.
And not all porn is rape.
No, but if you've looked at it recently, it's
rougher,
over the years it's increasingly, not because only for the sake, because it's an addiction. And
I watch a lot of porn,
and the more you need, the more you need. Okay, but I'm saying not you, but I'm saying a young kid that finds that kind of porn and gets addicted to that, and so now he can't do anything but that.
So that's why the numbers are up. You're saying. Because not that there's not rape before.
See, and that's a weird thing, because again, reported rapes, the number of people that are, there's no way to keep track of the numbers. Because if you're telling me in the 50s where women were like abused on the regular, like that didn't happen, like it's hard to even, it was normal for men to beat their wives. Like I don't. And go back, fucking Genghis Khan and everybody.
But that's the point.
We could talk about
even
their
before
Rome.
That, you talk about the 50s. Right, exactly. But that's what I mean. So that had nothing to do with porn.
Yeah, so that's why that's a debate.
I still just don't even understand physiologically how you're fucking excited.
There's got to be something. There's got to be something there for that,
Bro, we've all had fucking post-nut clarity when everything's going fine.
Yes.
You feel weird after sometimes, and you're like, oh, fuck. Bad decisions, blah, blah, blah. How the fuck do they feel after and sleep at night?
I have no idea.
I just don't understand how your dick gets hard torturing somebody.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Then again,
you either don't see them as, so like we read that story about the internment camps in China. You either don't recognize them as human, or they are simply just an object for your pleasure, which is
I don't understand.
Which is severe detachment from who you are as.
I don't understand. That being said, in all my fantasies of hitting pedophiles with a baseball bat, my dick is hard in those fantasies, so maybe I do get it.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of hard dick. It's like a 3/4 chub because I'm just pleasurable. I don't want to come.
You're excitable.
I'm just excited.
Like when your dog sees you and you come home.
He does a Red Rocket. He's like, I'm not even gay, but I'm just so excited right now. I got a chub. That's the kind of boner that I have, bashing the teeth in of pedophiles. But, whether or not there's alien reptilian overlords running the whole show here and eating the babies, human trafficking is a real thing, and we're going to fucking do our part eventually. And this is just a bonus episode that we're going to cut up. And I don't even know the point of it, but I think the point, if we can just wrap up, is awareness and self-defense for young girls, and awareness and education,
because and
empowerment and true masculinity for young boys.
And again, like it always starts with awareness too, because if we're talking about the young boys, somewhere along the line, their minds got warped and twisted, right? But on the other side, some young women are getting warped and twisted into believing they have to be something.
Of course.
To become an object of sex, not sexuality,
Of
but
course.
of sex, right?
Of
Big
course.
difference.
They banned Dr. Seuss for being inappropriate and racist, but Wet Ass Pussy got Song of the Year. The same people.
Well, the argument there is that it's empowering to women somehow to be open about their sexuality.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
but you can't have both. You can't ban Potato Head and fucking then say Wet Ass Pussy is appropriate.
Well, I don't even know. I looked up last.
They said one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish is racist.
Interesting. See, that's attacking the wrong thing.
Of course, but that's the whole game is infighting left versus right.
Yeah.
While the fucking elites laugh. You think fucking whoever, fucking Rockefeller gives a fuck about a potato and a fucking Dr. Seuss? No, he's making billions.
You said awareness, self-defense.
But remember, we talked about
Reformation.
Dr. Seuss has like 6 books where anti-racism is the plot.
Anti-communism,
We talked about the star bellies.
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Anyway, cancel culture's stupid. Empower young girls. Educate young boys. Strength is the real safety, okay, in every level of health and fitness and human life. And we got to do better for the kids.
Yeah.
As adults, we have to take responsibility for our childhood traumas and not
because if we don't, then that gets played out
over and over and over and over and over and over
and the young kids that we're all raising see that and they program it without it being our fault or their fault. It just happens,
exactly.
Right?
So let's all become conscious and aware and stop fucking up. All right.